Hello, hello. Good morning. Good Sunday morning. I missed you guys last week. I'm Sandra from Sandra's Empower Wellness. I'm in my kitchen as usual. Love my kitchen. Even though this week I had a bit of a flood. Luckily, the day that we had like our first major rain, at least where I am, and luckily it happened kind of sporadically. The rain didn't continue because I was able to kind of mop at the same time. But because it's a new kitchen and it's an add-on to the main part of the other room, and so the seal between the two buildings, I guess, or the in between the wall and the roof, wasn't sealed properly or enough. So the end of the day, a guy came and actually sealed it, and we did have another downpour. Like, it stopped, so that's what I meant. It stopped, so there was time to actually go seal it, even though it was still a little wet. So there's a little tiny leak, but not as much. But it was coming down my wall here. Had to take down all my dishes because, as you can see, I don't have cupboards, so I had to get. And then there was one behind the newly installed microwave. So there was one just going right under the stove all the way to the center of the floor. And I'm sitting at my table doing work. And all of a sudden I'm going, I better get this cord off the floor. I was freaking out. And anyway, so obviously I'm still here. I got through it. My kitchen's fine. Just a minor tweak, but I'm just grateful that it didn't rain hard for an hour or something, or I wouldn't have been able to keep up. So yay. Thank you for coming to fix it. Thank you, no way. So today I wanted to talk to you again. I like talking to you and just giving you little tips here and there. So one of the biggest issues that I hear and I see, and I hear it's mostly women that are talking about it, but men can suffer from it too. It's hypothyroidism. I'm not going to be talking about hypothyroidism. I'm going to be talking about things that you can do on your own, things that you can eat that can help avoid all of those horrible symptoms of hypothyroidism. Now, there's hyperthyroidism, which is a very speedy metabolism, and it can be a very serious condition, and hypothyroidism, which can cause thinning of the hair. It controls our temperature. Sometimes we get really hot, really cold. Usually it's cold, like feeling cold. Depression, weight gain, the huge one that most of us are mostly concerned about, but there's so many things that it can affect. Also, our feeling tired, but not just feeling tired, feeling like, oh my God, I can't get through the day. And it usually hits you around 3 or 4 o'clock. I don't know if anybody has taken the saliva test to test your thyroid. I've done it a couple of times. I know several ladies who have done that. My husband actually did it as well because he was so into health with me, thank God. But so the saliva test is where you have to, get your saliva and put it into a tube, and then you send it off. And usually they do it, first thing in the morning, and there's several times a day. And the one that they do, they really can see stuff is around 4 o'clock. And that's how they kind of get it all together, how you fluctuate throughout the day. And they can tell about that from your saliva, which is great. So, you do your blood test, but saliva test is really the one that I've done, and it's really, really accurate. So anyway, I have never been diagnosed with hypothyroidism. I was weak in a couple, so we tweak things here and there, but I'm not on any medication. And I know that there's a lot of people that are on medication for hypothyroidism. So these foods can really help you, and you want to avoid certain foods that can affect your medication as well. So we'll talk a little bit about those. But I just wanted to, hair loss, itchy, dry skin, depression, weakness, feeling cold, weight gain, and feeling tired and worn out. Those are the symptoms of hypothyroidism. And I know probably a lot of you are saying, well, I'm suffering from that. Obviously you want to go to your doctor to get diagnosed, but let's say you don't have access to your doctor right now, or you can't afford to go to your doctor right now. There are many things. So I'll give you some foods that can help you, and foods to avoid also to help stop irritating your thyroid. So things that you should avoid. Soy. I'm not a big fan of soy, never have been. It affects a lot of your hormones, including your estrogen levels, etc. So I just say avoid soy. Sorry for those of you who love it. I don't like it. I don't think it's good for you in any way, but that's, again, that's just my opinion. I'm allowed to have one. And just like everyone, you know, everyone has an opinion. We're not going to do the joke. We're not going to do the joke. But there's also some fruits. So there's fruits and vegetables that you should avoid if you want to aid in your metabolism, because your thyroid affects your metabolism and your energy levels, and basically every cell in your body is affected by your thyroid. And I will say the hormones are, if your hormones are out of balance, you are out of balance. So that's what I'm trying to help you with. If I can help you through your diet to feel better, it's going to help you. So that's what I'm trying to do, just to make you feel better. And a lot of times, especially because it does affect your weight, when we do lose weight or we do feel slimmer, we feel like we have more energy, we feel more confident in ourselves. So that's what I'm trying to help you with. So fruits, peaches, pears, and strawberries, which I was surprised that I didn't know that you should avoid certain fruits. I thought, well, fruits and vegetables we should just eat a lot of. Not so much. So those are the ones that you want to avoid. I will tell you what you can eat after, but I'll just get through the ones that you want to avoid. Vegetables, cruciferous vegetables was shocking for me when I did my research on this. There was a study, there was a doctor that said, look, you can eat them in moderation, but another study said that even if you steam them, something happens in the process of steaming them, I guess, as opposed to frying them or roasting them or barbecuing them or whatever. So broccoli, kale, spinach, cabbage, things that I really like. Well, spinach I'm not a huge fan of unless it's raw. I don't like cooked spinach, just not what I like. But broccoli, I love. Kale, sorry, can't stand kale. Broccoli and cabbage, I really like those two. Not that we're talking about what I like, but I always have to put in my opinion because, you know, hey, it's my page. I can do what I want. Beverages, coffee, alcohol, green tea. I was also surprised at that. They can actually, it's not that you should not do it. It's saying try to avoid it or consume less because it can irritate. Those are the foods that can, or drinks that can irritate the area. It can cause some. So if you don't drink coffee, then great. I don't drink coffee, never have. Alcohol, well, I like my wine. Everybody knows that. But those can, and avoid goitrogens. You know the term goiter? Well, this is where it comes from. So soy is a goitrogen. Fruits and starchy vegetables like the broccoli, kale, pine nuts and peanuts. Nuts are excellent, especially Brazil nuts, but we're going to get into that after. Well, I'm not going to talk about the type of nuts, but just avoid peanuts and pine nuts if you can, and all the other nuts are fine for you. And gluten. Gluten is a huge problem with so many other things, but if you can avoid gluten, then it can really help you a lot. And there's a lot of gluten in our processed foods. So processed foods and sugars and all of those things are going to affect your thyroid, your metabolism, everything. But we're just talking about thyroid today. And okay, so hope those are clear. If not, let me know and I'll go over it again. What you can eat, because honestly, you know, telling you what you can't eat is like, well, what can I eat then if I can't eat anything? Well, you can eat eggs, whole eggs though, not the egg whites just by themselves. Eggs are really actually healthy for us. They're really good for us. It's like almost like the perfect food. The yolks have the zinc and the selenium that we need for our thyroid health. So if you can find foods that have selenium, zinc, iron, what was the other one? Selenium, zinc, iron. I didn't write that down. So anyway, selenium, zinc, iron. I think, well, that's the three. So iodine, like kelp and seaweed and that kind of stuff. If you can, nori is really, really good. Avoid the soy if you're going to eat Chinese or any products that have a lot of soy. Avoid the soy, but do all the other stuff. The fish is excellent. Fish and all types of seafood are actually very, very good because they're usually high in iodine. So that's good. And so fish, meats, all meats are fine for you. Vegetables, just avoiding the cruciferous, but vegetables are obviously good. Fruits, berries and oranges, except for strawberries, but all the other berries. I think blueberries are probably the best fruit because they have the lowest amount of sugar in them. And because they say bananas are okay, but I have an issue. If you're trying to lose weight, try to stay away from starch because that raises our insulin. And when our insulin is actually raised, that's when we gain weight and our cells get filled, and that's a whole other discussion. But anyway, yes, I've studied health for a long time. I love it. It's fascinating. Gluten-free. Now they're saying dairy is good. I avoid dairy just because it doesn't agree with me, but dairy does have a lot of benefits for your thyroid. So milk, cheese, yogurt. And for beverages, obviously lots of water. Water is always good for us. And non-caffeinated beverages. So if you are going to drink coffee, try decaf. I know those people are going to hate me who are coffee freaks because I know a lot of you are. I don't care for coffee. I never have. I don't even like the smell of it. So it's easy for me not to drink it. So I'm a tea drinker if I drink tea, and a lot of water and my red wine. So, I wanted to see, this is amazing because I kind of go by energy and how I feel about what I want to talk about. And the reason this came up is because I know a lot of us suffer from worrying about what we're going to eat and how we can eat. And there was a discussion on Facebook a couple of months ago about thyroid and Hashimoto's and how people are really suffering. So that kind of struck a chord with me, saying, you know, I am a huge proponent of eating well, but how can we help those with food instead of medication, or if you're on medication, to help balance it with the medication, or just make you feel less tired, or even just the understanding of what food can do for your hormones and for your body other than weight. It's not just about weight. It's about your hair loss. It's about your energy levels. It's about depression. Food can really, 80% of what we consume affects our weight, but there's medical issues, there's hormonal issues. What if you can eat in a better way, a more healthy way, and a more conscious way, and feel better? So if I can do that for you, that would make me really happy. So the series that I did on superfoods, which was only going to be 3 things, but it ended up being 4, are all excellent. If you are hypothyroid, and I know a lot of you are, if you are hypothyroid, slow metabolism, watch this video again and to find out all the foods that you shouldn't be eating to avoid. Not shouldn't be, but avoiding it, because it will really help with your metabolism. But all of the things, and I have them here again. Buckwheat, because you don't want gluten. This is gluten-free. Buckwheat is excellent. These taste good. As I watched my soba noodle video I did, I think it was 2 weeks ago, because last week I did not do a video due to circumstances beyond my control. Well, actually, they probably were under my control, but I wasn't going to give you value. I think that's what it was. I just, my mind wasn't working that day. But anyway, so soba noodles are fan-effing-tastic for those who want to eat pasta and are having issues with their weight. Excellent. The other superfood that is also recommended, I got these at Costco. So you can get them at Costco. They had another type before, but these are the ones, and they're organic. Chia seeds, again, you can throw them in anything, hot, cold. They can go sweet, savory. You never know they're there. They're tasteless. Amazing if you want to make a dessert. And if you add 1 tablespoon and do like 3 to 4 tablespoons of water with that and let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes. It just expands about 30 times. And add some fruit and yogurt. I don't eat yogurt, but a lot of people do, and add some honey to that, whatever. That is a great way to have something sweet or start your day off. Excellent. The other thing is, I don't have the package, but quinoa. It was amazing when I was reading about this thing, the foods that they recommend for supporting your thyroid and helping with hypothyroidism. Gluten-free, GMO-free, so they're good for anybody who is suffering. Anyway, so I think that's going to be it for today. I'm just looking at my notes. I have to have notes these days because these are really important topics. And I know a lot of us suffer from wondering what we can eat. There's so many things that say you can't eat this, you can't eat that. But you do want to, no matter what, my rule is always avoid processed foods. If you can avoid processed foods, you'll feel better, period, whether you have hypothyroidism or not. Doesn't matter. And it will help you just feel better about yourself because you know that it's not good for you. You know when you go for those chips, it's not good for you, but it feels good and they're crunchy and yummy. And I eat the organic ones from Costco when I do my guacamole. I actually do eat chips, but because I'm pretty clean eating, and that's my treat because I do love the crunch of chips. So, but I don't eat bread and I don't eat the white pasta, maybe a couple of times a year. Because I eat so well, I can have a slice of pizza here and there. I can have all those other things and I don't feel guilty about it. And now that I'm doing yoga, I feel even less guilty because, again, I didn't work out for 10 years. So right now I feel so free that I can even eat more than I normally do because I'm working out and I'm starting to feel strong. I don't know if that shows yet, but I'm getting stronger and I'm feeling my posture's better, my confidence is better. So anyway, I don't like to exercise. I don't like it. I don't like sweating, and yoga makes you sweat, but I do it at night. I take a shower afterwards. I'm good. But find something that you can do that makes you feel good. And some people like to run, some people like walking. Walking is good, and that's why having a dog is good because it forces you to walk whether you want to or not because you have to do it for them. But I know I'm getting off topic. I always do, and that's what you're going to have to get used to when you're watching these. But I think I gave you some great information. I really wanted to do this I've been planning it for a couple of weeks, but it just didn't come together. So any questions that you have? I was thinking of putting a meal plan together for this and then maybe writing a blog. I'm not sure. If somebody wants me to give them an idea of what they can eat, like a meal plan, like for the week, I would be happy to do that for you. So that's going to be it for today. I'm going to the coffee shop with my doggy. Yay. Anyway, so have a great day. And thanks for joining me. And if you found this valuable, please make a comment, please like, please share it. It's going to go up on my YouTube channel. And please subscribe to that if you haven't already. What else? That's all I'm asking. And keep watching. If you have any suggestions or any questions, I would be happy to take suggestions on what you want me to talk about. I may not, who knows, but I'm open. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye.